Niki Lauda wasn't your average Formula One driver. He wasn't glamorous in the James Hunt kind of way, or brooding in the Ayrton Senna way. He looked more like the guy who'd fix your boiler and then casually mention he owned an airline. But despite his scruffy image, Lauda managed to capture the hearts of two very different women. His first marriage was to Marlene Knaus, an Austrian socialite whose flowing hair and 70s supermodel vibes made her a paparazzi magnet. She was the kind of woman who could walk into a room and silence it instantly. Next to her, Niki looked like he'd been dragged in by accident. But somehow, it worked. They became a high society power couple, with Marlene adding polish to Niki's raw, blunt personality. She was there through the ups and downs, yes, including his fiery Nürburgring crash in 1976 that left him with horrific burns. For 15 years, they were the oddest yet most intriguing duo in European celebrity circles. But Lauda being Lauda, he didn't exactly live by the rulebook of happily ever after. Enter Birgit Wetzinger, a flight attendant from his own airline. Only Niki could turn coffee or tea into a lifelong love story. And this wasn't just a fling. Birgit literally saved his life by donating a kidney to him in 2005. That's not just a marriage, that's a medical miracle. Forget roses and candlelit dinners. Try organ transplantation as a sign of devotion. Lauda's love life showed both extremes: the glamorous old-school celebrity marriage with Marlene and the life-saving real-world love story with Birgit. Typical Niki, living two lives at once and somehow making both unforgettable. If Formula One had Hollywood storylines, Ayrton Senna's chapter with Xuxa would have been the blockbuster rom-com. On one side, you had Senna, Brazil's national treasure, the fastest man alive, driving with a mix of genius and sheer madness. On the other, you had Xuxa, a TV superstar, model, singer, and literal children's icon. Yes, while Senna was terrifying Alain Prost on track, Xuxa was teaching Brazil's kids how to dance on Saturday mornings. The two together, it was chaos, in the best way. Everywhere they went, it was pandemonium. Crowds screamed, cameras flashed, and newspapers couldn't get enough. In Brazil, Senna was already worshipped, but pairing him with Xuxa made him untouchable. It was like the Pope dating Beyoncé. The nation didn't just watch them, they obsessed over them. Of course, it didn't last. Senna's intensity, living for every hundredth of a second, consumed by racing, didn't mesh with Xuxa's world of lights and cameras. But their romance still holds a mythical status in Brazil. Even today, fans reminisce about the time their idol wasn't just a driver, but half of Brazil's ultimate celebrity couple. Senna and Xuxa were never going to last forever. But for a few golden years, they represented everything larger than life about Brazil. Passion, glamour, and a love story that was just as dramatic as Ayrton's qualifying laps. Michael Schumacher was ruthless on track but reserved off it. He wasn't the type to pose shirtless on yachts or throw champagne-soaked parties. He built his empire on discipline, work ethic, and staying laser-focused. And when it came to his love life, it was no different. Calculated, steady, and deeply private. He married Corinna Betch in 1995, and while she may not have been tabloid fodder in the same way as Xuxa or Jessica Michibata, Corinna was very much a celebrity in her own right. A world-class equestrian, she dominated Western-style riding competitions and built a career around horses that was every bit as demanding as F1. In fact, the Schumachers became known for their sprawling ranches in Switzerland and Texas, complete with stables that were practically five-star hotels for horses. What set them apart was their total avoidance of drama. No breakups, no scandals, no messy headlines. Just two people building an empire together. Corinna became Michael's biggest defender, managing his brand, raising their two children, and keeping their lives away from the constant circus of Formula One. And when Michael suffered his skiing accident in 2013, she became the gatekeeper of his privacy, refusing to let the world turn his condition into tabloid fodder. In a sport where celebrity marriages often flame out quickly, Michael and Corinna's has endured as a symbol of loyalty and strength. Not flashy, not scandalous, but bulletproof. In a way, it's the perfect Schumacher legacy: controlled, disciplined, and quietly unbeatable. Jenson Button has always had the charm of someone who could talk his way out of a speeding ticket while still looking like he belonged in a Calvin Klein advert. And naturally, he ended up marrying a model who matched his effortless glamour, Jessica Michibata. Michibata was an Argentine-Japanese fashion model whose face was plastered across campaigns for lingerie, swimwear, and luxury brands. Put her next to Jenson and they looked like a couple that belonged permanently on a magazine cover. Their 2014 wedding in Hawaii was straight out of a rom-com montage. Sunsets, beaches, and two people who could both outshine the entire guest list. For a while, they were the definition of a paddock power couple. Jessica was a constant presence at races, her poise and charisma turning heads everywhere she went. Fans loved them, tabloids adored them, and McLaren's PR team couldn't believe their luck. But like so many glossy celebrity marriages, it burned bright and fast. After just 1 year, they split, citing distance and busy schedules. Translation: F1. Life isn't exactly conducive to long-term romance. Still, their brief marriage cemented Button's reputation as the paddock's golden boy. He wasn't just world champion, he was the guy living the life every sponsor wanted: fast cars, fast career, and a model wife. For a moment, it was almost too perfect, which, in hindsight, might explain why it didn't last. Max Verstappen might look like he's permanently annoyed at being asked to take the bins out, but his personal life is significantly more glamorous. His long-term partner is Kelly Piquet, a Brazilian model, social media star, and, crucially, the daughter of three-time world champion Nelson Piquet. Yes, Verstappen isn't just dating a model, he's dating into Formula One royalty. Kelly has worked with luxury brands, boasts over 1 million Instagram followers, and knows exactly how to play the modern celebrity game. She's as comfortable on the runway as she is walking the paddock, where she's become a central figure of the Verstappen entourage. And fans notice. Her posts featuring Max rack up huge engagement, feeding the never-ending Verstappen fandom online. But the real kicker, her dad. Imagine bringing your girlfriend's father to Sunday dinner, and it's Nelson Piquet, one of the most controversial, outspoken legends of the sport. That's not just intimidating, it's terrifying. Yet somehow, Max, already world champion multiple times over, seems unfazed. Maybe winning races by 30 seconds a pop makes meeting the in-laws a bit less daunting. Together, Max and Kelly are modern F1's ultimate power couple, the champion at the peak of his dominance, and the partner with celebrity heritage and global glamour. It's not Senna and Schumacher-style tabloid frenzy, it's slick, polished, and very 2010s. Nico Hülkenberg may never have scored a podium, but he's done something arguably cooler: married a fashion designer. His wife, Egil Ruskite, is a Lithuanian creative whose luxury beachwear designs are worn by celebrities worldwide. Think less team merchandise and more Malibu poolside chic. Unlike some of the louder F1 romances, Nico and Egil have kept things understated. She's not constantly on the grid or playing up for cameras. Instead, she balances her fashion empire while supporting Nico's unpredictable, stop-start F1 career. In fact, while Nico bounced in and out of the sport, becoming everyone's favorite super sub, Egil was quietly growing her own brand. Fans joke that while Nico may have missed out on champagne showers, he's living the true paddock dream: stylish partner, creative household, and a life that screams quiet confidence. In a way, his marriage reflects his career, subtle brilliance that doesn't always get the recognition it deserves. If there's one podium Hülkenberg has conquered, it's in the marriage game, and honestly, that might just be the more important one. Lewis Hamilton is Formula One's ultimate crossover star. He's not just a driver, he's a brand, a fashion icon, and a magnet for paparazzi. And the biggest chapter in his off-track saga, his long, complicated, and endlessly entertaining relationship with Nicole Scherzinger. Nicole wasn't just famous, she was global pop royalty. As lead singer of the Pussycat Dolls, she had chart-topping hits, world tours, and a fan base that knew every word to Don't Char. Pair that with a young Lewis Hamilton, fresh from winning his first world championship, and you had a media storm. Their relationship was pure drama. They'd split, reunite, split again. It was like Formula One meets Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Tabloids loved it, fans speculated endlessly, and even Hamilton himself admitted it was hard to balance racing with their high-profile romance. But make no mistake, their pairing elevated Hamilton's profile beyond sport. He wasn't just a driver anymore, he was a celebrity dating another celebrity. And while the romance eventually ended, it opened the door for Hamilton's transformation into the cultural icon he is today. Music, fashion, activism, it all stemmed from stepping into that world with Nicole by his side. Lando Norris represents a new generation of drivers. He's not just about racing, he's about Twitch streams, memes, and cultivating an online fan base that borders on obsession. So when he started dating Margarida Cordeiro, a Portuguese actress and model, it felt like the perfect 2020s plot twist. Cordeiro is no stranger to the spotlight herself. She's starred in Portuguese soap operas, built a strong modeling career, and like Lando, commands a massive online following. Together, they're basically a Netflix producer's dream: young, famous, and perfectly photogenic. The relationship became public in the most Gen Z way possible. Instagram hints, TikTok whispers, and eventually, fans piecing it together Sherlock Holmes style. Once confirmed, it blew up online. Clips of them together spread across fan pages, sparking endless debates, memes, and stan accounts. For Norris, who's usually seen as the cheeky boy next door of F1, this added a new layer. Suddenly, he wasn't just the guy making jokes on the radio, he was part of a full-blown celebrity romance saga. Whether it lasts or not, one thing's certain, Lando and Margarita are living proof that in modern F1, dating isn't just a personal choice, it's a storyline.